And to tell us a little bit more about this, we're now joined by Mlungisi Mabaso, who is the IFP Youth Brigade Secretary. Thanks so much indeed for joining us, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Peter, and greetings to you and the viewers at home.
I know that you've been working on this bill for some time. Whilst you're launching it now, this has been a work that you've been busy with for a number of years now.
Yes, thank you very much. The caucus in Cape Town started a long time ago working on this bill. So under the leadership of His Excellency the President Emeritus, Comrade van der Merwe was then tasked with the responsibility to do a research and make sure that she compiles all the information that will be of great assistance in the formation of this bill. And the bill has been concluded now, and the Parliament will be looking at that. And we know that the bill will be submitted to the portfolio committee, and we hope and believe that the ANC is not going to use its majority to prohibit this bill to serve in the National Assembly. But what we have decided to do as the organization is to now launch officially this bill and engage with our members and the youth in society for them to understand the bill and the intention of the bill. And hence tomorrow we are here in Gauteng. We started in KZN on the 1st of May because when the organization looked at the events that we can convene as part of celebrating, we then said, as the Youth Brigade, that there is nothing, in fact, to celebrate with the high unemployment rate. But the only thing that we can do is to engage with the youth in society on the solutions that, as the IFP, we are trying to bring on the table for young people and South Africans in general on how they can access the legal opportunities that we have in the market.
I'm going to ask you what the bill says, but let's start by, because you said you did a lot of research. What did you find that you felt needed fixing, and what is the lay of the land that this bill will address? Well,
the reality is that the employment service bill that we currently have in the country does not prohibit private sector or businesses to employ foreign nationals, whether documented or undocumented. Secondly, the employment of foreign nationals in South Africa is not regulated. Then that means employers can employ any foreign national without a valid work permit. And what we seek to achieve with this bill, one, is to regulate the employment of foreign nationals. Secondly, is for the minister to tell us the shortage of skill that we have in the country and gazette that and have that those sectors listed where there is a scarcity or the shortage of skills on, so that at least as South Africans we know on which skill must be sourced out of the country. And secondly, the bill, what is trying to seek is for the employer to tell us if they have satisfied themselves that the skill that they require in the workplace is not in South Africa. So in the absence of that, then they should not be able to employ undocumented or documented foreign nationals in a work that can be done by South Africans. So basically what we are trying to do is for the restaurant in the country to only employ South Africans unless the owner of the restaurant can come out clear and justify that they did not get any South African that qualifies to be a waiter. We want all the logistic company to employ South African drivers unless they tell us that none of the South African has code 14 and experience to drive a truck that will transport goods from here to Durban. We want those that own Uber and Bolt to tell us that there are no South Africans who can operate their cars. And we want the employers to tell us that they have tried and they've exhausted all the avenues and they are unable to find those skills in South Africa. So in the absence of that, we are saying in the policy or to the bill that if they are failing to justify and tell South Africans that those people that they're looking for, they did not find in the market, then those employers must be penalized for that. But the bill, in a way, is protecting the leaky work that is left in the market, especially the work that does not require qualification, the work that does not require a special skill to do.
Are you saying that there's no list in South Africa of scarce skills as we speak?
Well, if there is, then the minister must identify those sectors, and we must be aware, so that, because what the bill is also trying to address is that if the minister could come out clear and say this particular skill we do not have in South Africa in this sector, then we can, the policy make the provision that those then can be sourced out of the country. But what then the bill also make provision of is that when we get someone outside the country with the skill, then there must be a skill transfer. So the person must be given a responsibility to transfer a skill to South Africa, like how it happens in other countries. So when you go out from South Africa with a specialized skill to another country, then they compel you to do a skill transfer, so that when you left, at least people of that particular country are able to do the job without you having to monitor them. So that's what we are saying, even ourselves, that the minister must publish and list the sectors where there is a specialized skill that is required and that skill is not within the country, and then they must do a skills transfer. So that person who will be employed, who is not a South African, must be employed on the basis that they are also educating South Africans to that particular skill, so that in a certain times, in a certain period of time, South Africans then will be able to do that particular job.
So are you looking at quotas then? Are you saying that for maybe, for example, in restaurants where there are unskilled workers, a certain percentage must be South African? Or are you saying if it's unskilled and if they're not scarce skills, 100% must be South Africans?
Well, I mean, what stops the restaurant owners to employ South Africans only? With the high unemployment rates that is affecting South Africans. And that's what we are saying, that they must justify to us that there is no South African that can do that particular work. And that's what the bill is seeking to achieve.
All right. Thank you very, very much indeed. And perhaps we'll chat again after your Gauteng launch. Thanks for your time.